zone, caught! Touchdown.
If you heard these games without the crowd noise, you would think you were watching a practice at any high school field in America.
Taylor's going to blitz, and he's going to get there.
When the pandemic hit, it became apparent we probably weren't going to have fans in the stands.
It was going to be literally the sound of 22 kids playing in a backyard.
We had been going out to all the NFL stadiums making surround audio recordings. We can put that in, and it's the real deal.
The field is freshly painted, the teams are in uniform. The only thing missing here at Levi's Stadium is the fans. That means 49er games could sound awfully strange this season, but they're getting a little help from some TV magic. It's the sound of Sunday Night Football, heard by millions each week, and the man who mixes that sound is Wendell Stevens.
The way I do my job is I look at a TV picture and I say I need to make it sound like that picture.
But this year, the picture is a little off. There are faces in the crowd, but they're not doing much cheering.
It's a big job to have to replace 70,000 people.
Executive producer Fred Godelli had been watching other sports all summer without fans.
It gets really dull quickly. I mean, there is just no energy.
But he got a call from NFL Films that changed everything.
They called me and said, we have curated audio from every single stadium in the National Football League. Do you think we could do anything with that? And I said, yeah.
It was a game changer. Authentic cheering.
He's caught! Chris Carson for the touchdown.
From the real fans of every team in the league.
We were just doing that to capture sounds for our library that we use in our shows.
Vince Caputo is NFL Films' supervising sound mixer. His team spent years gathering all that sound. Now they had only months to turn it into a sort of musical instrument that plays crowd noise. This was admittedly a really ambitious project, wasn't
it? we didn't realize how ambitious it was because, if you listen to an NFL game, there are a lot of other sounds in the stadium besides the crowd.
Whistles, music, PA announcers, they all had to go.
And what was left was a whole bunch of small pieces of things. Some were boos, some were applause.
What they built from those pieces was this, and they built it 32 times. You built a different system for every team in the league.
We built 32 systems.
Each with the unmistakable sound of the home team's fans. The whole system works with just 2 faders and a handful of buttons. The right hand controls the ambience.
This being level 1, and then moving it on up, you'll hear the crowd kind of intensify a little bit, all the way up until you get to level 4, which is the rowdy, opponent's third and long crowd.
Then the left hand moves the peak fader. It's the excitement that builds during a play up to the moment the crowd reacts.
You get the higher reaction. Or something negative that happens.
The reactions are chosen at random, so each one is different. The operator just hits low, medium, or high. Is a yes low like a 7-yard gain early in the game, and like a yes medium like a first down close to halftime?
You got it. I'm going to sign you up.
The magic goes out to millions watching at home, but there's one place you won't hear it: the stadium. To keep the game fair, the NFL requires stadium crowd noise that doesn't react. It sounds like this.
It's just a flatline sound, 70 dBs, to give the players a little bit of feel of crowd.
So here at Levi's, a 49er touchdown could sound kind of like this. But the same touchdown on TV sounds like this.
The 20 and the 10, and look at that! He hurdles his way into the end zone. Touchdown over Marcus Epps.
And here's what would have happened behind the scenes.
If the 49ers came out to the line of scrimmage, you could move it up to level 2 to let the excitement build just kind of a little bit. When they take the snap, you would start kind of easing up this, what we call the peak fader, to build a little excitement as the play starts, and then fire a reaction if something good happens. And then you can kind of taper down that positive reaction. You can make it last as long as you want.
The NFL has trained 32 operators, one for each team. They're experienced sound engineers who also happen to be true fans. And in some cases, they can work right next to the action.
He had the 49er towels there, and he was sitting in his season ticket seats.
But with no preseason this year, everyone's had to learn on the job.
We had an operator react to a replay, and it was just sort of in my brain that you don't react to the replays.
Even the crew that's been doing this for decades needs a new playbook this year. With stadiums empty, these big microphones on the field are picking up things they've never heard before.
You can hear thoughts. I'm exaggerating only slightly, but you can really hear everything.
And that's created a problem.
We're hearing a lot of obscenities we've never heard before, and we're actually on a 5-second delay now so that we can, the old term was bleep them out.
These days, they just scramble the unsavory words. It sounds kind of like this.
Taken down to the 24-yard line.
Or this.
Big hole here exploited by Sanders.
And yes, those were less than a minute apart.
But there's a lot of great things you're hearing. The quarterback at the line of scrimmage, the offensive lineman talking.
We're good, just don't move.
So there's a lot of that. And I think that adds to the viewing experience, but you need it all.
That includes the foghorns.
Touchdown.
And the roar of the crowd.
Are there buttons you would add? Are there changes you would make?
I hope we get to a point in the country where we can put people back in the stadium because we miss them. We want to be safe, but we really, really miss them.